What is up, and welcome to Loose Beats, where our motto is chill out and make a beat. I'm Toby, A.K.A. Kushing from the T&D channel. Make sure you check out everything we do. And today I got a new beat for you called Summoning. And this is another one made on our live chillin' beats a few weeks ago. So make sure to check those out if you haven't. We just start from scratch and see what we can come up with. And this is a pretty epic little loop we came out with. So let's go ahead and get a little sample of it, and then we'll break it down. Woo! That is a hot one. That is epic. It's got a lot of 80s metal vibes in it. It's also got a little funk vibe in it. It's a pretty epic one, though. And again, make sure to check out our live chillin' beats. They're real fun. We're just, it's a laid back kind of time, but we're making some new music. And let's break this shit down. Let's start with our drum beat here. We got this drum machine called Dimbo. Watch out for them bows. Remember that. And it's a pretty simple one. Yeah, it's one you can easily lay out to get you started. You can, just like something you can ride. Just pick a hi-hat and a kick, and don't get too fancy. Don't work too hard at first, just to lay out your beat. And over this Dimbo, we got this Asian kit down here. And this one's doing a lot of moving work, as you can see at the bottom. And it's just hopping around. Yeah, so that's giving us all our movement, all of the odd sounds in there. We want to start out with our kind of our big cymbal, maybe a gong style thing. Like, I just kind of, on these, I don't have a certain approach other than finding a little pattern that I like. Like, I play keyboard and synth, and it kind of makes sense to me to just pick out just a little mathematical pattern like that. And just kind of work around it, play with it, but stay in your main area there. And with these other kits, they have a lot of different ones. They have an African kit, they have a European folk kit. There's a lot of cool little percussion kits that you can just play around like that and hit all your 16th notes in between, your basic drum kit that you've already set up, and it just brings a lot of different sound out of your original drum beat, which you can hear when you hear them together. Adding our toms in there, and we got a couple extra different instruments and cymbals, just accenting our main thing. And that really just brings it out for me, brings something good out of nothing. And so that's our basic drum beat we got. And so we have a few guitar lines. These were another Davo edition on these. And this one's just kind of a traditional, I get a little Bob Seger vibe from it, maybe some different metal, but yeah, it's a good little 80s lick. And another thing I'm going to have to look into is, so when we record these, we're normally playing through the speakers, and that beat in the background you hear is just being picked up from the pickups on the guitar. And so there may be an easy fix for that. I'm going to actually have to look into that. I've never thought to do that because I normally record with headphones. And I guess they're just bleeding through a little bit. But we'll have to see if there's a good method to kind of drown that out in the back while we're recording. That would be something I can get back to in another one. Our other one, this one down here that you see this little bump in, this was an accidental one when we were recording, but again, sometimes those accidents are pretty nice. And this is just a weird little noise that it picked up, you know, and I don't know why, but sometimes the shit works. If you hear it, just come in real here. You have to listen pretty closely. Yeah, it's just something weird in the background, kind of off and out of tune, and I like it. And so I want to keep that in there. I may even use it more. It might be one of those things that you make a staple just because it's pretty weird. And so on top of that, we've got this other 80s hair ripping it up shit. And we got some pick slides and we got some open chords, and you know. Yeah, I love to hear my boy do some of those pick slides. That is out of character for him, and I love it. So, you know, we got this heavy metal kind of vibe going with it, and we add in this little clave to kind of lighten the mood, give us a little funk and a little movement in the melody too, to kind of go along with our heavy moving Asian kit down here. And this clave is under flying clave in your vintage claves, and we can hear what's going on there. Yeah, good little line, just kind of working around like a bass that's working too hard would do. On the clav lines for me, like a lot of people are play much quicker and kind of bounce, and I like the really crawling kind of halftime. You know, I like to play around with the octaves, of course. You know, just kind of fill my gaps in the lower or higher octave, depending on which way you're playing. But I really like the funk approach to the clav instead of the quick, you know, the kind of more, it just sounds more overdone, nerdy, unnecessary. I don't know. But I just like the creepy, kind of crawly movement of, you know, using the funk clav like that. And so that melody is just kind of buried in here with our kits and in the background to give us a little bit of movement. And give us a little bit of that wah sound, you know, give us a little funk in the background of this very heavy song. And then so lastly, we have our subby bass. And so on here, we got these hits going. Yeah, let's go ahead and give it a listen to see what it's doing. Yeah, so you see all that movement. We've talked about, I think in the last one, about the upright basses. The upright basses have a bend to them, you know, where they'll bend up and away from the note. And the rock basses seem to have, well, at least most of them have this slide kind of feature when you hit the modulation, because these keys have the aftertouch thing on top of just your velocity can also trigger it too. But so you're hitting it, and then you just, as you see the color down at the bottom, you just hit your velocity, and it'll do your slide down. And so on on these lower ones, it'll just pull you down like that. And if you get the really low ones, see on this one, that just gives you your last slide. If you jump down another octave, there are some deeper octaves that give you a full slide up and down. You know, instead of starting from your note and going, it gives you a full range. And so on this, and so I'm just riding those out, and really the only thing to watch to make the tone right is to get your links the correct, or at least close. Because see, these last ones just gonna be a little short because you don't want your slide down, you just want your slide ups, you know. So it's you want to cut it off just in time to not get that full slide. And so this is just a cool little hidden feature, I feel like, that I didn't properly know how to use when I first found Logic. And so that's just a cool little thing you can do with all the basses have their own version of that modulation that you can use. And so that's our beat. We got this summoning. You know, it does sound like something is coming out of the grave. We're raising some dead, doing some shit we shouldn't be doing some magic and shit. Sounds like that, but it's just a good time amongst friends, you know. And so that was it for this week. And make sure to check out everything else we do. Check out our podcast. We, get wet and wild on the Drinking a Joint show. And make sure to check out Play Dead. We can learn some Grateful Dead tunes. Make sure to check out our Patreon, where we're putting new content up all the time. We watch movies on the second Thursday of every month with you guys. And we like to make fun of some old movies. Also check, I'm putting out some shorts more often now. And so we got a new one coming for Halloween. And I want to start making some more little music videos for you guys and seeing where that leads. And lastly, just leave me some comments and DM me if you like a beat. Make sure to just let me know if you want me to try out a different genre. If you have any ideas on some of the beats that you've seen, let me know. And we will be back next week. We go out on this summoning, and you guys make sure not to do any black magic this week, just this week.